What's up, guys? It's Rick Ginn, and we are live. Gotta do. Uh-oh. Okay. Let's fix the camera. Awesome. Yes. Today we're talking about how to make the correct wholesale offer. And I'm going to save you guys. I do not have complicated worksheets. Honestly, you don't need software. You just need a brain. If you got a brain and you want to do it, today is the day to figure it out. And this is one of my favorite topics because I believe this is so wildly complicated in wholesaling. We have to break it down and simplify it. So most of you are doing it wrong. You're taking a lot of advice, and I want you to take the advice of a 22-year veteran of wholesaling. I promise you, you're overcomplicating it. We're going to simplify it today. So by the time you're done with this live stream today, you'll know exactly how to make a wholesale offer. And I can't stress the word enough, wholesale. I do not teach you how to make offers on MLS. There's plenty of gurus will teach you how to do that. In fact, they'll call real estate agents and pretend like they're talking to live sellers. That is just, honestly, I just don't think it's a great use of time. That's just my personal opinion, but you can do what you want. We need to find people that need to sell their house, people that want to sell their house, put it on MLS. That's why it is not a great beginner strategy. So my name is Rick Ginn. I love wholesaling. I've been addicted to this almost 22 years now, and we are here to talk to you and let you know what's going on. So do the comments, introduce yourself, make a friend. This is a safe place for wholesalers. If you truly want to get the truth about wholesaling, I don't have anything to sell you. So all I can do is sell you how to do wholesaling the right way. I'm not going to flash you cars. I'm not going to flash you. This obsession with people's watches is like really wild, but I don't get me wrong. I like nice things, nice watches, but they're not going to help you. So most of that stuff that gets overly flashy winds up as a lure to sell you guys stuff. So let's get into it without further ado. As usual, use the comments, put in your questions, and then what I will do is I will put an invite link up here. If you guys want to hop on and you guys want a question, or you want to hop on and do a quick mastermind, I'll put it under the Rick Ginn comment, and it's first come, first serve, and we'll put it on there. So as time allows. So let's check this out. So we're talking about how to make offers today, and I see so much information on the internet. And the thing is, you've got to commit to learning the fundamentals of wholesaling. And so many people go, well, wholesaling is real estate investing. There's real estate investors, and then there's this incredible group called wholesalers, and they get it more than anyone. And they're willing to ask harder questions, to do extensive marketing, to find people that need to sell their house. That is the key distinct difference. If you try to use the strategy I teach you today for everybody who wants to sell a house, which is 100%, you're going to get wildly frustrated. And this is the distinguishing difference between people who learn how to wholesale and people who just want to buy properties. So remember, if I want to find people that just want to sell their house, go to MLS, the multiple listing service. And if you have a wholesale coach or guru who tries to teach you to find wholesale deals on there, you're fishing in the wrong pond. It's the truth. Can you get deals there? You can, but it does take experience. You have to know how to talk to realtors. And remember, realtors don't like wholesalers. You're never going to be able to connect directly with the seller. And for that reason, you're probably not going to get a good wholesale deal unless the property has significant problems, and you're going to have to go through a lot of work to do it. Don't believe me? Go ahead and try it out. I do not even attack the strategy in today's market because I'd have to go through 5,000 to 10,000 leads to even get one or two like decent deals. And when I say decent, like stuff that's actually going to make money. So if you understand that going into it, I want you to understand how this works. So let's see here. I got it. Okay. So The first thing we have to understand is why. Let's do this. Let's just give you a truth bomb, because that's Rick's always going to tell you the truth because it's my obligation. I don't think I'm the grandfather of wholesaling, but I've been around a pretty significant amount of time and I've survived it. I'm not one of these people who are going to go, I'm in the comeback mode. I'm going to just pop right back out. Listen, if you have to have a comeback mode or like you have to come back into wholesaling, you're probably doing it pretty bad. There's always a reason why people leave wholesaling. My favorite is it's too cluttered. It's too noisy. Why don't you just not leave? Like, just, if you're so good at it, you should be making a ton of money with it and you want to do it forever. If you do coaching or not. I love people who say, I'm coming back. Well, where did you go? Why don't you explain to us why you left? And what are you going to do coming back? Okay, hold on. Not sure why it keeps switching cameras on me. Let's see. Uh-oh. Hold on with me 1 second, guys. So anyways, you deal with the camera is, the idea is if you really want to be effective at wholesaling, you have to constantly stay in this business. So as I'm working on some of my technical difficulties here, is we have to understand what is the truth on wholesaling. So here's the truth. I'm going to share it with you guys. Let me take this one off here. You like my multiple view situation. Most wholesalers just overpay for their deals. It is the number one problem in wholesaling, and I'm letting you know that is the real reason. So how do we avoid it? That's the most important process when that. Rick, how do I avoid overpaying for a wholesale deal? Number one, make sure you're finding people that need to sell their house versus people who want to sell their house. And if you understand that completely, this is much easier. Now, how do I know that? Simply. Why do most wholesalers overpay for their properties? Why? What's the why in it? And the reality of that situation is simply this. I just give it to you. Most of them are using very, very outdated guru information. What do I mean? You guys know exactly. You follow these formulas, they get stuck, and you're just stuck to it. You go, well, you know, he or she's the master guru. And if you understand that, you're like, how can I be servicing it wrong? The reality is sometimes there's just bad information out there. And if you understand that, you know, right? You guys all know. I'll have to adapt till I get my camera working here. So if it's not working and you're overpaying for your properties and you understand that, number one, just stop doing it. Like most of the stuff that you get from a guru on how to bid for a wholesale property, it doesn't work. And there's a main reason why it doesn't work. Here's the reason. We go back to the why. Ready? We talked about outdated guru information. The next one, the reason why you guys are overpaying is just flat out fear. There's no other word for it. You're fearful. You're scared to death that the seller's going to reject you. And you try to figure out how to get the deal done. And keep in mind, if you're chasing a motivated seller down just on price alone, you are not wholesaling. In fact, you're literally wasting your time. And if you understand that, stop chasing price alone. That's what people do with realtors and on MLS. I'm here to tell you, you don't want to do it that way. Why? Because you're never going to win on price alone. I've already told you guys that. And you know what the reality is? If fear is not the only thing that's stopping you, which is most of the time, which is what's stopping you is, what's the next thing that's going to take you out on top of this? Next one, you're trying desperately to get into that seller's head to see what they're thinking. Like, what's the offer going to be? And I tell you, my 22 years experience of wholesaling has taught me one thing. You're never going to guess it right. In fact, 9 times out of 10, you're going to guess it wrong. Are you going to be high? Are you going to be on the low side? It's all over the board. The problem is you guys let your personal feelings and your emotions affect how you make wholesale offers. How do I know that? Because I see your contracts you submit to me every day. And here's my number one question every time from me and Zach is, how did you come up with that offer? And most people will go, well, I was just trying to get him or her to sign the contract. And if you understand that, you understand that has nothing to do with wholesaling. You're just being regurgitated stuff either from a guru or someone I don't know, an anonymous person over the internet. And you think that you have to attack price and price only. Now, I'm not saying price isn't important, but the reality of this is price is not the overriding determination if they go with you or not. Number one, you're weeding out people that want to sell their house versus people need to sell their house. Once they need to sell their house and you've qualified them, you've walked them through MCTP. If you don't know how to do that, go to freewholesaling.com. Once they do that, then you just have to be a guide and walk them through. The best way to be a guide is number one, build rapport with them and connect with them. Once you connect with them, you are establishing your trust factor. And when you do the trust factor, understand that without the trust, a great wholesale deal doesn't work. So if we understand that, stop trying to get in your seller's head and understand there's a better way to do this. It is so old school to think how to get in your seller's head. Let me give you a perfect example. Let me give you an example. You ready? I'll show you. How many times do you guys meet with a seller and you're dead set on what number they want and you get freaked out by the tone they take with you and stuff like that? And if you understand that, you go, man, how do I fix this? Just why don't you first and foremost stop trying to get in their head, period. Just stop. If you don't get in their head, you don't have to worry about it. And if you understand that, it's easy. So the first rule in teaching people how to make a wholesale offer is number one, stop getting in their head because you're not going to get there. So most of you are just guessing on how to get in their head. So what if I showed you a technique how you can actually ask them the question without burning your relationship as the wholesaler? So if you want to do that and you understand that, then we have to understand this. Now, this one's going to be shocking when it's a little bit disturbing, and I want you to understand this one. You ready? You guys are acting as if you're realtors with a realtor's license. I know I spelled that wrong on that, so. Guys, give me 1 second. Let me just fix something. Okay, let me. Okay, guys, I'm having a little technical difficulty. I worked through it. So let me go back here and see where I left off with you. So a lot of times you guys are basically acting like realtors. And then more importantly, you act like you got a realtor's license because some of you do, which I never told you to do that. And if you understand that, stop acting like it. This is what realtors do. Realtors go on appointments to do what? To get a listing. Why? Because the sale price will be determined by the market. Their only job is to get people to sign, to sell them. And then once they sell them, then they try to negotiate the best price possible. Do you understand that is a completely different function? Their whole job is if they get a yes on the listing agreement, when they're done, like that's their sales. On a wholesaler, we just have to get them to commit to us to a contract price. Now, we're much more finite as a wholesaler, but if we understand that, how do I get there? Number one, stop acting like a realtor. That's the key. If you act like a realtor, you're going to do realtor things and you're going to go for listings. And if you understand that, that's how it works. So let me keep moving on here because I just these technical difficulties. So knowing that, let me bounce all over here. We're just going to deal with this camera for now. So if we know we overpay for that, and we know we're trying to get in the seller's head, then we have to understand is, why are we doing this? So we told them we were acting as we're realtors. Number two is most of you are using way too complicated formulas. If you have a 70% rule or anything like that, dude, kill it. Because here's the reality is, who gives a crap what percentage you pay for the property? If you have a cash buyer lined up at the end to take your deal and buy it, I don't care if you buy it at 102%. Now, the odds of that working out are not well. So if you buy it at 60% or 85% and you're making $5,000 or $10,000, who cares what the formula is? It's the stupidest. I never understood. Yeah, is it a good general principle? That's like me saying, listen, if you find a Rolex watch, if you pay $5,000, it's a good deal. That's like me telling you any piece of real estate that you pay $25,000 is a smoking deal. Would you agree any type of real estate, if I told you to buy 50 cents on the dollar minus repairs, would be a great deal? Of course. These are not formulas. They're stupidity rules. They didn't work back in 2003 for me. And a lot of you guys are still running numbers like that. Today, you have more information available at your fingertips than ever. So my next favorite piece of advice that's going on there is internet advice. Oh my God. Do you guys realize most of the opinions and the advice you take over the internet are people with very, very little real estate, if not wholesaling experience? So if you understand that going into it, why would you even listen? You could have a 12-year-old kid behind the scenes on that, and you would have no idea. So you guys understand that? Stop taking random like internet advice, even from gurus. For the most part, how long they've been doing it, how many deals have they done, and are they active today? That's the only question I need to get answered on it. So here's my next favorite one. If I had it, well, actually, I'll show you a graphic. Here's my online graphic. You ready? You guys spend way too much money, time, money, energy on the calculator. Why? Here's my rule. If I have to do a calculation for a wholesale deal, I already know I'm overpaying for it. Why? Because if I can't do it in my head, the numbers are too big. Now, you can always do the numbers at the end, but the reality is if you do it in the beginning, it's going to be a real problem for you. So if we understand that, we have to understand that the calculator. Move that one. Okay. Okay.
Get out of it. Get out of it. No, just exit out the whole thing. There you go. All right, switch. Switch.
Okay, guys. Welcome to my life when you do this on your own sometimes. Okay. So now I got this up and running. I'm on the right camera. Okay. So let's jump back to where I was going on this. You can tell when stuff's live, can't you? So we're talking about internet advice on that one. The other one is we talked about calculator overload. Like, in my opinion, if you're using a calculator, you're overpaying off the property right off the bat. Because if you're sitting there just like punching away, how are you even going to have a spread on the property if you can't even do the math in your head? I'm telling you, it's the truth. Most of you overpay for these properties, and you know it because you're stuck with these old formulas. Listen, if you have to overpay for a property, it was probably never intended to be a great wholesale deal. So honestly, sometimes you get a no, people are doing you an absolute monster favor, or they're going to come back in your pipeline down the future. And if you understand that, you're going to get more no's than yes. This is the secret to today's formula, okay? Accept it, acknowledge it, expect it, and deal with it, and run your numbers accordingly so you can get the numbers that make them work. So let's move on our next issue on this. So the overlying problem is if you act like a realtor, you constantly go for the yes, and you just want to get a contract signed. The problem is you're looking for instant gratification. And if you have instant gratification, it's going to be problematic in wholesaling. And if you understand that, you have to do the opposite. Well, Rick, if you want instant gratification, do not come to wholesaling because it's not going to give it to you. I know some of the old school guys got instant gratification. They were in markets that weren't saturated. Like, I get it. But the reality is instant gratification is never going to work in this business. And if you understand that, here's the differences. People are going for the yes in typical wholesaling deals. It is the worst strategy you can do in all of wholesaling. End of story. I've proven this time and time after again. I'll show you. I'll give you a demonstration today why this doesn't work. I promise you, if you just listen to me, forget about some of my technical difficulties today and listen to what I'm saying, because I have a lot of experience in this area. If you go for a yes on a wholesale deal, you are going to overpay for the property and you're going to leave a ton of money on the table. Rick, what do you mean by that? I want you to understand this one. This is an underlying statement. This is my philosophy. This is how I was brought up with wholesaling, and this is why I'm so effective at communicating the gospel of wholesaling to you. Ready? You will not get wholesale deals on price alone. Let me repeat those phrases. You will not get wholesale deals based on your offer or price alone. You know why? Because if you think that way, you're acting as if you're a realtor, which means you're dealing with people that want to sell their house. You're not dealing with people that need to sell their house, and it's going to blow up in your face. I get rejected a lot. I'm okay with it. I accept it. Somehow, somebody of guys, we've lost the fundamentals of wholesaling. You are going to get rejected 90 to 94, 95% of the time. Well, Rick, that's crazy. I don't want to do this. Then get out. Like, it's just the truth of the business. Period. Like, that's it. Those are the numbers. I don't know at what point someone taught you that we got to get a yes from everyone. You are not getting a participation trophy in wholesaling. I don't give them out. In fact, I'll take the mic and just smack you upside the head and tell you you're doing it wrong. Stop trying to think everybody you meet with, like you can induce them into a wholesale contract based on price. Because if you do, I promise you, you just accepted a retail contract. And when you call your cash buyers, you're going to drive yourself nuts. I tell you all the time, if you will do the hard work up front, have the difficult conversations, wholesaling gets real easy. But if you want to do it the opposite way, and you want to take gurus like, let me just show you how to get anybody you want, anybody who wants to sell their house, how to get a wholesale deal. It sounds like a dream to me. It's a fantasy. Sign me up. Please, God, tell me how to get people that just want to sell their house on MLS to sell it to me super cheap on a wholesale deal. You guys really believe that exists? So 1 out of 1,000 listings has so many problems. Either the realtor or the sellers lied about it. They have to go through all these renditions, 3 to 6 months of rejected contracts to go, oh, crap, we better talk to one of those wholesalers because this thing ain't going to move. Like, do you really want those properties unless you get a massive discount? And is it really worth the effort? If you think cold call is frustrating, go ahead and cold call like realtors that don't even own the property. You're never going to get a direct connection with the seller. And for that reason, that's why I don't want to do that strategy. Guys, read the statement. You will not get wholesale deals on price alone. End of story. If you understand that, now we can move forward and figure out actually how to take this down and how to make this work. Does everybody understand that? If you're trying to fish for the highest price on a wholesale deal, it's terrible. It's just not going to work. Period. Oh, I got to get a deal. Okay. Put it under contract. Announce to the internet you got something under contract, and then go through the hell of trying to fight to sell it to cash buyers. And they tell you that's the terrible deal, Rick. You can't do it. And I want you to save it. So many of the gurus and stuff, they just want you to put everything under contract to give you the moral victory. That is your participation trophy, and it won't get you squat in this business. So take your trophy, throw it out the window, and let's get to work and get wholesale pricing. How do I do it? You're going to have an incredible amount of quantity of people who need to sell their house. I never hide this from you. And if you understand that going into it, you can get it. I don't mean to be so harsh with you today. I just got to tell you the truth, man. So don't worry. I'm going to walk you through how to do this. Maybe we can role play. We can do it with someone on that. So if you know price alone is not going to get you a deal, then why are you guys all fishing for price? Why? Because you think you can cheat the system. It's not going to work. You're going to be disappointed at the end of the day. I promise you. Why? Because you all come back to me through free wholesaling and go, Rick, I tried this course. I paid the guy $5,000 and he doesn't take my calls or do anything. Duh. Did you think a one-on-one was going to get you anywhere in wholesaling? It's not. That means you just got a really bad coach. Sorry. That's a coach who's got a lot of time on his hands and doesn't make a lot of money. So they're going to trade their time for money, which is the same cycle you're trying to get out of. So understand this. Just stop doing it. You will never win on price alone. Price is the final negotiating piece sometimes. That's it. If you make it a first negotiating piece, you're a dead man walking. End of story. So what do? We just flip it around, do it the opposite way. It's that easy. That's my favorite part about wholesaling. We just do it in backwards order. That's it. And if we understand that, figure out how to do it. How do we do it? You guys know exactly what I'm going to say here. You know where I'm going with this. Go for no. Go for no. I'm just telling you. There is a reason for it. Go for no. I want you to visualize this. I meant to draw it on a whiteboard. I never got around to it. Busy day doing wholesaling. If you have a timeline like this, okay, and say your offer, I can't do it without visually showing you. The problem is whatever you offer, if you come close to the seller's expectation, they're going to move the goalpost on you every time, 100% of the time. Ask me how I know this. So if they were thinking their property, they could get 200,000 for you and you offer like 195, they're going to counter you at like 215. Now think about this. If you make an offer of say like 125, they're not going to move the goalpost. They're not going to move it that way. If anything, you want to see if they move the goalpost towards you. That's the secret with how the go for no method works. Because I don't chase people. If you chase people, you are now a licensed realtor. Congratulations. More gurus have their real estate license than ever right now. That's what realtors do. That's what they're trained to do. That's what they're taught to do. Wholesalers have the opposite effect. We're just more, I'm not going to say slick. We're less obvious about it. That's great. If you can get it sold, you can get that number, then knock yourself out. Give me a call if it doesn't work out. You see, I don't chase. Now, mentally, I chased hard my first year and I learned my lesson. It's like chasing flies, right? You ever try to swat a fly with your bare hand? It's brutal. They move around. You can't catch them. There's like, how the hell is this fly so fast? Now, if you put out some sweet sauce or like honey or whatever, they'll come right to you and you can smack them on the head. Now, we don't smack sellers on the head, but we want to attract them towards us. Whenever you move towards something, the universal law is to create space and repel, to protect yourself. So if you're constantly chasing people and you're that annoying salesperson, you're never going to get a deal. The reality is we get great wholesaling deals from people who need to sell their property and we connect directly to the seller. Now, keep in mind, if you go on MLS, those are people who want to sell their property and you have 0% chance of ever connecting with the seller because you got the big bad agent in front of you and they're never going to let you through. It's their job, for God's sakes. They're kind of like the real estate lawyers in a way. They're like, I have to protect my client. It's crazy. So if we understand that, we can move forward here. Now, the next rule, This is a simple rule. You ready? You're going to have to lose your calculator. Get rid of your calculator. I'm telling you right now, it will save you. If you're doing calculations, you're overthinking your offer. Now, remember, when I make my first offer, I have very little information. It's on purpose. You know why? The most important information is to find out the motivation of the seller. I need to sell my property for tippy top dollar, and I won't take a penny less than 115% above retail, which is almost of more. I'm not even going to waste my breath on that person. Knock yourself out. But some of you guys sign up for courses where you'll do that over and over and expecting. Listen, if you do the same thing over and over and expect a different result, it's called insanity. I do not spend any energy on MLS. I just don't understand. Yeah, you can find a few deals, but for the most part, I'd have to get you 500 of you out there plowing through the internet on MLS listings, and one or two of you are going to come back with a deal. And you'll never hear from the other 498. Why? Because they probably bought a course and they probably got screwed. It's just how the business goes on it. So lose your calculator. Next one. You have to simplify your wholesaling. Most of you don't even understand how you're making offers, and that's your biggest problem. If you don't understand how to make the offer, then you try to rely on all these. Listen, you're watching my video trying to rely on my advice. I'm going to simplify this for you. Do me a favor. When all your other offers fail, come back to me and visit me on this video right here. And you're like, the simpler you make anything, the easier it is in your life. The more complicated you make it, the more of a pain in the ass it's going to be for you. So if you know that, simplify. How do we simplify making an offer in wholesaling? We're getting to it. Ready? You have to learn the fundamentals of wholesaling. It's gone, guys. It's out the window. I'm sorry. My job, Zach's job, is to bring you back to the fundamentals of wholesaling. It's got completely wild in the last 7 years. I don't participate in the wholesale rodeo. Let's figure out how we can sell another coaching course. Let's figure out how we can have another opt-in and stuff like that. Do I offer stuff? Yeah, it's not mandatory. Every one of you can communicate with me without ever being in my coaching program. Until you get behind the paywall, I can't show you. So you got to understand, most gurus can't sit here and tell you step by step on how to do stuff, because it would completely invalidate their courses. I don't care. I will give everything out for free. I'll find the people that want to utilize it and make money and partner up with me. So learn the fundamentals. This is actually the real secret to wholesaling. The fundamentals have been around for hundreds of years. Only in the last 7 years have they gotten cute. And people think they can go around the fundamentals. You see what happens in football when people lose the fundamentals, like Miami Dolphins? They're too complicated. Like, nobody knows what's going on. If the quarterback goes down, the whole team's done. Simplify. Run pass blocking, simple schemes. Go back to high school. Go back to even Pop Warner. If you ever get lost in wholesaling, do me a favor. Go back to the basics. Whenever someone gets overcomplicated, even Tony Robbins will tell you, just go back to the core fundamentals of what made you successful. And here's the bottom line, guys. I deal with people that need to sell their house directly to the seller, that are off market, ODN, off market, direct to seller, needs to sell. You hit those three, you're going to hit it out of the park in wholesaling. If you screw around and try to ignore all three of those, God bless you. You're going to buy a lot of courses in your life, and I don't want you to do that. So if we understand that, how do we do this? So let's give an example. Let's have fun with it. So how do I make an offer on it? So I'm going to put on the comments here, because I see all your comments. And let's see. Okay. It says, Rick, give us again, show us the deal, give us a quick math on how you do a calculating offer. So here's the problem: is stop doing the math. Number one, qualify the seller. What do I mean by that? When they call, just find out quickly, do they fit in the need to sell or want to sell? How do you do that? Go through MCTP, go to freewholesaling.com, and I'll share everything on how to do that. You have to qualify. The reality is you're going to disqualify more people than you qualify. And if you understand that, don't waste your breath on people that really don't need your services. I'm a licensed realtor. I need to sell my client's property for tippy top dollar. Where are you going with that? Like, seriously. Now, here's my exception. If the house is motivated, meaning it's very rundown, it's vacant, it's got deferred maintenance, I'm going to keep pushing away on that one. I know it'll take time. Sometimes we have a delusional seller and a motivated house. In a perfect world, you have a motivated house and a motivated seller. But the reality is, sometimes you just have one out of the two. That just means it needs more follow up. So if we understand that, say I identify a motivated seller that needs to sell. Perfect. Here's where we're at. I'm going to pull up a simple comp, but 9 times out of 10, they're going to tell you what they think their house is worth and what they'll take for it. Don't be this guy or gal who goes, the gurus told me I have to wait until they give me their final number and then we'll play the poker game. It's ridiculous. I've already thrown that theory out the window. If you want to do that, you're going to be holding your breath forever on like half your leads. So simply when I go on the, when I'm talking about it, either you can do it over the phone, is you can simply identify the property with a quick search. Use X leads. I don't care. Use Zillow. It doesn't matter what you use and come up with a number. So if I see a house that's worth $200,000 and it needs, the seller tells me, it needs a little bit of work or anything. I figure, okay, 10, 15 grand. I'm just here without doing the calculator or anything, that $200,000, I'm going to use a go for no. So the different part of it, if I do it the old fashioned way, like the way a lot of you guys do it, you're going to go, I'm going to go for yes. So if it's worth 200, I'm going to offer 171.5. And guess what your seller's going to do? Nah. And you already know the maximum you can pay is 180. And then you're going to go, well, what about 175? And eventually you're going to settle on like 185, 190. I don't know where you're going to wind up. And you're going to be so excited to get the contract and you're going to feel like you got a participation wholesale trophy. I'm here to tell you, man, if you want like participation trophies, this is not the field to be in. So if you want to go for no trophy, I'll show you how to do it. So do you see on that exact instance, all we did was chase. Do I have a delay on this thing? Oh, super delayed. Okay. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second, guys. Let me need to plug in too. Okay. I'm back, guys. I think a guru hacked me. So I just having one of those days. Sometimes technology doesn't always rear its ugly head. So um, if we understand, we're talking about the go for no right now. So um, as I was showing you the previous example on that is understand this, that I'm not going to spend a ton of energy past an initial evaluation of the property. X leads, Zillow, PropStream, whatever you want to use. I don't care. And then once you get, so say the property's worth $215,000. You don't need some work, everything like that. Instead of going for a yes, simply go for the no number. Slide your scale over and understanding you're most likely going to get rejected, but the rejection is a process to find out where the seller's bottom line number is and to see if they'll motivate towards getting a deal done with you. Let me give you an example. Say the property's worth between 200 and 215. It needs some work. It's an ugly house, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to make an offer somewhere between 120 and 130. Listen, if you get it accepted, high five, awesome. You just got a great deal. But most likely you're going to get a reaction. Here's the differences. Your seller's going to react. You're going to respond. What's the difference? Number one, a reaction is a gut-wrenching, fast emotional response that has no control, that's based on their subconscious feelings about everything going on in their life. It is the best answer you want to get because raw emotion pushes deals to get done. What do I mean by this? Hey, Mr. Seller, I go, listen, I take a look around the house, everything. I go, would you consider 125? That's my partner. That's all the money he says I have to buy this deal. Shut your mouth. You're probably going to get torn up a little bit. Now, you have to build rapport to do this. If you use go for no without building rapport, you will get destroyed in this. Going for no only works when you build great rapport, build trust. You're going to build it up. It's going to be knocked down, and your job is to build it back up and see if you can cross the bridge with them. And here's typically how it goes. Rick, you're absolutely nuts. Your partner's insane. I would never sell my property that cheap. Do you think I'm an idiot? No, I mean, my partner's an idiot. Like he does the money behind the scenes. And if you understand that, let me know a number that works for you. Now, what I like them to do is go, I talked to my wife. We can't take anything less than 155. Boom. Now my range is 155 to probably 135. And all I have to do is cross that gap. But if I don't use the go for no, I can never get what's out of the seller's head. I've learned guessing is guessing. Have you ever guessed at anything in your life? Unless you have an incredible amount of experience, which most new wholesalers don't, stop guessing. Get the real information. Going for no elicits a reaction. A reaction is a raw emotional response to the facts presented to the seller. Are we playing games with them? No, I'm actually streamlining the negotiations so I can get to a faster answer to see if we can do a deal, because I don't have the rest of my life to cut a deal with them. And you know what? It might take some follow-up, but the bottom line is the seller's here. I'm over here. And if the seller goes, holy crap, he's all the way over there on the offer, they're more likely to meet you somewhere. And if you push your offer up towards the go for yes, the retail side, they're going to run from you. It's the absolute law of attraction that works. Remember, if you chase something like a dog, I always give you my dog story. My dog runs like crazy out in the backyard. The minute I walk by him and shut the door, he comes running back to me. Try to go catch a fly with your bare hand. Good luck. Put down some bait, something like that. Get the raw emotional response of the fly eating. You can smack the crap out of it. So why do you think it's any different in sellers? You guys got to stop. I'm going to try this. I'm going to guess this. Ridiculous. I would never, ever use this strategy on anyone. Oh my God, Rick, what if they kick me out or I get rejected? Well, you weren't getting the deal anyway, so what does it matter? Oh, I'm sorry. You don't get a participation trophy on the go for no. You don't. You know what you do? You get a big fat check. You're able to deposit in your bank account and help people out. I don't have time to spend with people who want to sell their house. Go let a realtor court you for 2 years. You think you can sell your house for retail? God bless you. I give you all the power in the world to. I'm not going to fight that fight. And that's the difference on how I do my offers. I do not waste my time. Does everybody understand that? Do not waste your time on ridiculous offers that make no sense. Identify your seller, qualify them, and then once you know they need to sell their house, go through the process of getting to know your clients, build your trust and rapport, and hit them with the go for no. You will thank me later. I'm just telling you how many times I go with people through my Flip with Rick program plus, and I have to indoctrinate them. Because you guys say, I'll do the go for no, but like when it comes down to a pinch, you go for yes. And then people complain, I overpaid for the contract. I got to get out of it. I got to renegotiate it. Stop it. It's ridiculous. Does everybody understand the go for no approach here? So simplify your wholesaling, learn the fundamentals, and for God's sakes, worst case scenario. I know I'm going to do a plug here, but it's true. If you don't know how to come up with a wholesale value, you just get into X Leads. You get a 7-day free trial period. And right there, when you put in the address in the upper right-hand window, it will give you a wholesale value. Why? Because you guys need it. God, I wish somebody gave that to me when I started out. Think about this. A piece of software designed specifically for wholesalers that the owners are full-time wholesalers and they adapt the business to wholesaling. That's right. You go on the X Leads, it's got the wholesale value in there. One of my favorite things. Now, I even think it's a really low number. And if you hit that number, you hit it out of the park. Why do me and Zach give that to you? Because we want to give you the absolute highest confidence you can get any deal you want done. And you know you got the right number. Sorry. Now on the left side, you'll have the retail number. If you get close to that number, you're going to get killed. So how do I do that? When you pull somebody up on your X Leads, you can pull it up on the app on your phone. You'll know right off the bat. If I see a value of 200K, I'm just going to use a low offer. How much? I don't know. 50, 60%. That's kind of where I'm usually at. 60, 65 tops. But like, remember, I'm not going to get into the weeds and go, oh my God, I gotta factor in this fee. I got to put in my wholesale fee. I got to do a holding. Oh, I'm going to do hard money because my guru told me how to do hard. Oh, my guru says he'll fund it. Yeah, your guru will fund it. You're better off getting your own hard money lender, in my opinion. Like guys, wake up. Stop overpaying for these properties. Does everybody understand it? If you can't learn this, the fundamentals of wholesaling, forget people's fancy cars, forget their watches, forget these fake planes everybody's getting on. Dude, just get down the brass tacks and make offers that make sense. How do you do it? Use the go for no strategy. Stop. Honestly, if I have 100 people on a list, I use the go for no all the way through it. And I find 3 to 5 people that want to work with me. That's my strategy. You guys want to like split hairs. Like I get it. Some of you make a couple $1,000s on a deal. You do what you got to do to get by. You will never survive with that attitude. And that little 1,000, 2,000 usually means you're working with people who want to sell their house. You're making significantly less money than most realtors do. To make the big money in wholesaling, you're going to have to use a go for no. This strategy has worked for me. It's made me 6 figures on one single family house. I know that sounds crazy, but it happens more frequently than you think. Does it happen every time? No. I could be one of these gurus go, look, I made 120 grand. It's so simple. Like every deal. Bullshit. Like, sorry. I'm not supposed to cuss on here. I promise. That's not who I am. But learn the fundamentals, guys. It will change how you operate. Now, I have some interesting news for you. You're going to like this. So Joel asked, and Joel's been around a long time because I remember Joel. Do we use this strategy on cash buyers? No. Cash buyers is a completely separate. There is no like a go for it. With cash buyers, like I'm simple. I tell them the price I want, and I make them feel bad if they don't take it. How? Hey, listen, I'm offering the property at 150. You want in? I got a lot of interested parties. Well, let me think about it. Well, let me know. It might not be around by the time you think about it. Let me know. Maybe you're just better off for the next one to come up. I usually sell my stuff pretty quick, usually in 24 hours. I always do a takeaway from cash buyers. Going for no, like I want them to go for yes. So we kind of do it the opposite. And Listen, cash buyers are smart. They'll play with you. I play with a lot of people when I buy. It's just a strategy. And if you understand that, you know how to make it work. So, okay, easy. What's go for no? Go back and rewind this, or do me a favor, go over to freewholesaling.com. So guys, I have a interesting proposition for you. We have revamped freewholesaling.com. We've put in more information, more course material than ever, and we have actually put it inside of the school community because we love it so much. And go check it out there now. It is a place that you can interact with other wholesalers. Um, you can communicate amongst each others. And I love the platform because it's extremely interactive. Now, we've done a lot. We've worked with Kajabi, obviously with YouTube, but school is the one platform that where you can actually connect with people, work on deals, and a combination of that and ZachDiscord.com, you cannot go wrong with it. And I'm telling you, check it out. We just opened it up today. We are going to be easily the largest wholesaling group on school. Yes, I do have a paid program I do on it. I have a community with Flip with Rick Plus. That is different. You have to actually do a deal with us, JV with us. You can actually pay to get in there. It's a very minor fee. But honestly, start at freewholesaling.com, check it out, and see if you believe that is going to be a fit for you on there. And then, guys, I didn't even put this on there. I'm just gonna put this on here. At X Leads, I know it's cut off on my sweatshirt right now because you guys asked for it. You can go on inside X Leads. You can use X Leads, sign up for a 7-day free trial period on me and Zach. We pay for this. You get 1,000 free skip traces that you can actually download. Actually, if you want, you can take your government list, you can import them into X Leads, and it will run that for you. We're the only service that does it for you. Why? Because you guys need tools as a wholesaler to get deals. If you got to use my 7-day free trial period, don't abuse it because I only let you in there so long, but I want to help you out. I'm tired of people using True People Search and cyberbackgrounds.com. They're great sites, but one-on-one, let's face it, we run out of gas. So my program, my deal with X Leads is to give you a free trial so you can see how it works. And then if you can use those 1,000 skip traces on me and Zach, 100% free, you can download them. I have no limitations on it. I'm not going to trick you. We're the only ones who actually give free stuff away. I want you to utilize it and show you we want you to win with the deal. And honestly, the base cost to do the X Leads, $49 a month. I mean, come on, man. That's if you do the 1-year program, and that will get you all your list, all the stuff that you need. People are getting tons of deals off of X Leads, and me and Zach have been using it just over a year and a half now, and we made a lot of adaptations, and we brought it to you, and we keep upgrading it. Guys, you can do disposition, everything else on there, but take me up on the 7-day free trial period because you got nothing to lose. I put my money where my mouth is. Go ahead and check it out. And put on the internet, does Rick and Zach actually give you 1,000 free skip trace? Like, can I, like a lot of these sites, you can only do them one at a time. You'll never get anywhere doing that. You might get 100 done in like a week or two, but why make it difficult? Let's make it as easy as we possibly can for you. So if you got any questions, we'll put them in here. I know I've had a little bit of a choppy of a live stream today. Let's see. What was that? Awesome. You guys. I answered that question. Yeah, I am technology challenged. I'm the first one to tell you. But like, guys, listen, I spend all my energy on wholesaling. Most of these guys with these fancy sets and like this, I mean, we've had the same set like forever. Listen, what's more important, the content you receive or the beautiful like set? Who cares? When I first started, it was just me, Zach, shooting in front of a camera. And we're kind of still the same way today with that. So I appreciate the support on the tech. Beth says, how should I trust the government list? Because you don't want to be, the people on these government lists are the ones being exploited. So we're trying to help those people out. So it's not about trusting the government with the list. these lists go by default. You can argue it's just so the word government is a label. Code violations, probates, tax delinquencies. If people do not pay these bills or they do not comply with their local laws, they wind up on these special government lists. And where there's smoke, there's fire. That's all I'm saying. Do I support government lists? No, I don't think anyone should be on these lists, but it'd be complete chaos if people then pay their real estate taxes and, people didn't, like, if everybody painted their house pink and purple, it would be a problem. So there's a reason for it. So don't worry about that. So here's a good one. It says, so I'm ready to start with X Leads Basic. What do you suggest? I have a list. So you got to figure out what your area is. I will always go to the pre-foreclosures and the vacancies. Why? Because they're good lists. Now, if you want to get more up-to-date pre-foreclosures, you can always pull them from your courthouse. It does take some time to extrapolate that information from the courthouse, but it's extremely convenient with X Leads. One of my favorite lists of all times is the vacancy list. And if you really want to increase your odds, you can combine the vacancy list with the pre-foreclosures. Don't worry, got you covered at X Leads. It is called the zombie houses. And the really cool thing about vacancies, you only got to I pull them like once a quarter, maybe twice a year, because those properties don't change hands months. And then you can exclude the MLS listings on there so you don't waste your time marketing to people that want to do that. And by the way, the lists go on and on. You can do tax delinquencies. You can do high equity. Look at the list, get in there, get in your free trial version, check it out. And then remember, every Saturday morning we go on at 10 a.m. for an hour. I'll be on this next Saturday and we'll go from this. So Corey gets his list from the title company. That's even better. Guys, I'm all about getting the list yourself. Actually, it's just a tool for you to help out. But remember, it's designed by wholesalers. We are not like CEOs of like data companies. We spend all our time in wholesaling, and that's what you want to do. So Christopher says, does it matter pre-foreclosure, foreclosure? A simple lesson on that. Foreclosure is the finality of losing your house. It gets sold at an auction. Everything beforehand is a pre-foreclosure. And you want to catch them in the pre, because you still have a chance to buy it, because the homeowner is still in control of the property till the day it's sold at the foreclosure auction. So hopefully that helps you out. So, so David's asking about the include, exclude is not with the basic plan, correct? Listen, you don't need it. Like, I believe you can filter out the MLS within there. I will go in that as soon as I got the stream and verify that. We only have 3 different plans. And the idea of the basic plan is you get the best bang for value. My closest competitor is twice my price. Twice. Most of the competitors past that are 3 times the price. So we always look at value. If you can pull lists. So when I initially pull lists, I don't worry about AI scores. I don't worry about inclusion, exclusion, or stacking lists. I just want to get the list. Give me the vacant houses. If you can filter out the MLS, the only ones I'm going to ask you to do on there. But past that, do not. Guys, here's a little secret. I didn't do any type of list stacking my first 12 years of wholesaling. I had no issues at all. I think list stacking's made people lazy, and they think of like, I need to increase my odds of getting a deal. I'm all for it, but you're still going to have to go through the leads, and you're going to have to talk to people to find out who's going to give you the deal. And if you understand that, you can get anything done that you want. So, so Justin, here's an idea: is like, you guys can mix it up. So the initial phrase is, "Hey, are you the owner of so-and-so?" The problem is everyone's using it, and you just have to mix it up. Just say, "Hi, I'm Jelson. How you doing?" Go with an opening phrase. Because honestly, when someone calls me and goes, "Hey, are you the owner of," I click. It just, why? Because 100 people call me with that line. So here's what we do. We have to rotate how we talk to people to make it not seem authentic. Let's just be authentic. That's the difference. Stop. We can't be robots. And even though it means that give you a basic line, to understand, you have to mix it up. You have to. Otherwise it gets really stale. I even tell you guys with my probate letter, which is highly effective, that I've had for a very long time, put your own little spin on it so you separate yourself. So when you make these cold calls, you send out mailers, or you do a text, you're somewhat unique and authentic. How do you do that? You actually have to do it. AI is not going to cover all this for you. And if you understand that, you can get anything done. So, um, everything. So Dave is talking about the Ninja Mode inside of X Leads, and I'm here to tell you guys, it's pretty cool. I'll be honest with you. It is, I believe it's quite advanced. So that part kind of drives me nuts. But here's the really cool part is it's free inside your X Leads. I don't know any other software that gives that stuff away for free. And you can simply go on YouTube. You can go to X Leads. We have specific training for that we update about every 3 days. And then also you can go into YouTube and learn how to use them. So it's just an advanced CRM system that most companies are going to charge you $100 to $300 a month to use it. It's absolutely nuts to me. So we give it to you for free for two purposes. Number one, to help you with your follow-ups. The AI conversation bot is phenomenal. It's got a dialer built in there. Yes, it's a single line dialer because I have to comply with the local laws and the state and the federal laws, and that's why we have to do it. You could do automation with texting. You do have to go through A2P compliancy. Once again, take your time and learn it. I get a lot of phone calls from you guys. I'm frustrated. I'm going to cancel my account because I don't understand how to use the Ninja Mode. It's going to take time to learn it. But here's the really cool, it's not costing you anything. It doesn't cost you a dime. So take the time and learn it, use it as a tool, and look at it as me and Zach giving you a $200 to $300 a month pay raise. And once you learn how to use it with your X Leads account, the sky's the limit in what you can do it. Why do all the gurus charge you for this when I can just give it to you for free? I have to pay for it. I pay for each of your accounts. Why? You guys need the tools. I'm tired of people talking about who's going to help out the fellow wholesaler. Why don't you talk about the people that actually do it? Start by going to freewholesaling.com. Once again, we've moved it over into school to make it more interactive. Because before, you could only connect with people through the comment sections. You guys do a lot through ZachDiscord.com. So a combination of ZachDiscord.com, freewholesaling.com, you will hit it out of the park. I'm telling you right now, use it. But we talk about people who want to help out. Let's get this straight. I give you the entire education of wholesaling for free. The most thorough course out there. It's not just my opinion. It's hundreds of thousands of people's opinion. Number two, I have more testimonials organically than anybody else on the internet in the entire world. Why? Because we help out so many people. Do you know most gurus teach you to use technology to grab your testimony after you pay them their 3, 5, 10 grand? And then that's when you're most vulnerable. That's when you're going to endorse a product you have no idea even works. They have to get the endorsement early. Otherwise, when you find out the truth about their course, it's going to be problematic. Also, you get 1,000 free skip traces on me and Zach. We just pay for it, download it. You can upload it. You can export it. You can do whatever you want. No limitations. Show me any other software that's going to do that for you. They won't. They all got limitations on them. And by the way, who gives you free Dispo platform? Gives you everything, and you can download everything as many as you want. You get up to 60,000 downloads. I'm sorry. We have a cap at 60,000. I apologize for it. By the way, we ran a 24-hour special and told you guys you could skip trace up to 60,000 leads in one shot. 15 million people, 15 million hits took us up on it. Now, I closed it because I knew it was an insane offer, but I'm just trying to go, things are there if you'll actually believe them and take action from trusted people in the business. And guys, don't forget about our Ninja Mode, our CRM built in there, basically our Go High Level, and we include it for free. So you get Dispo, you get full skip trace, you get the ability to pull any type of list, and also you get the full level CRM that you could do any automation that you want in your business. Come on, man. Like, who else brings? Everybody else is charging $500, $700, $800. I saw a Dispo platform. They say they're giving it away for free, but you have to upgrade $6,000 to even get like the features to like be able to get full access. Like, please, guys. Now, we don't give our Dispo away in our free plan. It's cost prohibitive, and I tell you it up front. but I'm not charging $6,000 for it. I'm not charging 10 grand. I'm not charging $3,000. You got 3 different levels: basic, pro, and X. And here's the cool thing with X: you get access with me and Zach, and we give you the full support on it. So check it out there. Wait a minute. I lost my cursor. How the heck did that happen? Okay, there it is. Jason says, "What's up, Jason? How you doing?" Ninja comes with all the plans. I made it available to everyone. So even if you take the most basic plan, even I think the $97 a month, it's in there. Rick, I thought you said it was $49. If you prepay it for a year, we give you a 50% discount. Go to any other software and ask them for that offer. You won't get it. Number one, you're going to commit to the product more. And number two, you get a 50% savings. I don't need to run a Black Friday sale. I don't need to run a Cyber Monday sale. It's already built into the product. Why aren't we giving these prices away every day? Gets me all boiled up. So, okay, guys, do me a favor. If you got the message on the Go for No, remember, you got to simplify making your offers. If you have these complicated strategies, you're going to complicate your sellers. Find out if they're qualified, see if they need to sell their house, build amazing rapport where trust is given. Use your Go for No, prepare for the reaction. When you get the reaction, then you're going to hit it with a response. Remember, a response is an educated solution to your seller to solve their problem. You're using the Go for No to solicit a subconscious response and solve their problem. There's a reason they're meeting with you. You're solving a problem. Solve it for them. They don't need you to sell them. They need you to solve it. And if you think you're going to solve it with price, you're in the wrong business. Price is solved with people who want to sell their house. People who need to sell their house, just solve my problem and show me you're not going to screw me and show me I can trust you. That's all I do with people. If you understand that, it's not about these complicated formulas, anything like that. I make an offer. I guide them down. I hit them with a price so I can shorten the negotiation period, and I'm seeing if they will even reach to me to see if we can put a deal together. And you know what? When they don't reach for me and they tell me no way, they do you a huge favor. And I'm okay with it. I part friends with everybody I meet with. I can't buy everyone's house. If it was that easy, guys, you would be a realtor. If you want to be a realtor, go find a guru with a realtor's license. There's plenty of them. I only teach wholesaling. I don't have a realtor's license. Why? Because I don't want to be a realtor. And by the way, getting a realtor's license just complicates your life as a wholesaler. I get it. There's a few, I know I say few, 1 or 2 markets that you're required to have it, but there's always a will and a way around it. I just don't believe in that part. My opinion, and it stays with here on the Rick Ginn channel. And I want to help you out. Guys, I've been doing this 22 years. Like, I've survived wholesaling. I've survived everything. And the funny thing is, all these people talk about like these comeback people and where did you go? If you're coming back, why did you leave? I don't understand. Why don't you explain why you left? What? You're running out of things to do. Now you got to come. Like, people don't need us coming in and out. It's like an irresponsible parent. If you're going to leave a child's life, stay out of their life, because you just screw them up when you come back and forth. I don't know. I've never left 22 years in wholesaling. I've never had to need. Why? Because I've made a ton of money and I really enjoy this business. So the only people that leave go for greener pastures, and those people always chase greener pastures. Why? Because they think they can make more money there. If you're going to chase money, chase money. That's your passion. Go chase money. If you want to use wholesaling to become financially free and, more importantly, free of your time, check us out. Go to freewholesaling.com. And as usual, if you enjoyed this comment, do me a favor. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We'll be on tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern on the Flip with Rick channel. Join us there. Me and Zach will be there. And I appreciate you guys. I'll see you soon. Later.